There can be a general feeling that everything feels out of control when we look out into the world, and also how we look inwards, we can feel out of control within ourselves, which can cause a lot of stress. And as EFT tapping is a stress reduction tool, let's use a bit of EFT tapping to help reduce some of this feeling. So, taking full responsibility for your own well-being and repeating after me. Let's go with the flow and let's begin to tap. Even though everything feels out of control, and it doesn't make me feel good. When I look out into the world, and it makes me feel very upset and very scared within myself. And I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Even though everything feels out of control, nothing is no longer in control, and this makes me feel very scared, perhaps a little insecure within myself. And I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Even though I feel a lot of fear, and I feel a lot of anger, and I just want things back within control. And I'm not sure what to do to bring about this order to the sense of disorder that I see. And I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Everything feels out of control. Everything is out of control. And I don't feel safe when I see all these things. It makes me feel very upset. All this is upsetness that I feel, all this anger that I feel, when things aren't going the way that I want them to, or the way that they used to. Things feel out of control. And I have to look at this feeling of being out of control, and consider one thing, that if everything was within my control, then I might feel out of control. Because that's a lot of things to manage. A lot of time and my energy going towards controlling things. All these things that I need to control. And when I look at this control of all these things that are out of control, that don't make me feel good, is it actually control that I'm seeking? Because at one stage in my life, I felt pretty good. Everything was pretty predictable. Everything felt very familiar. And everything felt very safe within myself. And now I have a threat to my safety, where everything feels out of control. So is it control? Or am I feeling unsafe within myself? All this feeling of unsafety, all these threats to my safety, and it just feels like everything's out of control. And I feel powerless within this. I'm hoping that someone will see reason and rationale. And that seems to have gone out the window, as everyone's caught up in the fear. And I have to look at what I'm consuming. Kind of like a diet of the mind. If I'm constantly consuming unhealthy things, I might start to feel unhealthy within myself. And if I'm consuming a lot of fear, then I might start to feel fearful within myself. The things that I watch, the people that I listen to, all equally caught up in this fear, might affect my diet of self. I might start to become overwhelmed by fear, which might start to overwhelm my cognitive mind, my rational mind. My ability to think may be immobilized by fear. As I stay glued to the things, feeding me more fear. I might want to reduce my intake of this. I can stay informed as long as it's not making me insecure. All this insecurity within myself, all this lack of control, all this feeling unsafe within myself, all these threats to my safety. But there is one person that can take back power when everything feels out of control, and that might be myself. By downregulating my fear, so that I can respond to these things that are seemingly out of control, rather than constantly reacting to the next thing. Because everything is out of my control when I think about it. But my response and reaction to things don't need to be out of control. I can think with a level head. Once I start down-regulating those things that are overwhelming my thinking and making me feel unsafe within myself, I'm taking back control of my own emotions. By starting to down-regulate things that feel out of control within myself, perhaps I can be a better leader for myself if I'm not leading myself constantly into fear. All this fear that I feel, all this fear that I feel within myself, all this fear of being out of control, this feeling within my body, within my muscles, all this tension, all this bracing for the worst. I'm bringing relaxation to my muscles. I'm allowing myself to breathe a little bit more easier. I'm looking at the things that are causing me fear. They'll always be there. But do I need to be there consuming of it? I'm treating myself a little bit more kinder by not exposing myself to these things all the time. They'll manage just as well without me being exposed to it. All this feeling of out of control. I want to feel a little bit more within myself than this fear that's overwhelming me. All this anger that I feel. All these perceivably stupid people who should know better. I'm bringing a bit of sensibility to myself, so at least that I can help myself, and with a level head I can help others as well. All this sense of security within myself. I can't control the world, but I can start to regulate my own emotions so I don't feel out of control. All this anger that I feel, all this fire in my belly, all this wanting to take action, and my body feels in traction by all this immobilization of fear. I don't need to consume this fear. I'm giving my permission to feel other things in life. Just because someone says it's this way doesn't have to be my way of living. I'm finding other ways to make myself a little bit more healthier within. And if I can be a healthier role model for myself, I might be a healthier role model for others who are equally caught up in this fear. All these things around me. There'll always be another thing. But I don't have to be that something caught up in this fear. I'm bringing safety and security to my own emotions. I'm recognizing my own emotions for what they are. I don't have to suppress these emotions. And I don't have to express them in unhealthy ways. These are my emotions to manage, and I'm managing them by acknowledging them, bringing compassion to them, and not letting them rule my life. All this fear that I feel, motivating me to take action. And if it's motivating me to take action, perhaps by not responding by reacting, I can start to respond by down-regulating and bringing some equilibrium within myself. I don't have to jump into the same riptide and be carried away by this fear. I'm bringing some safety and security within myself. All these things that I see, I can see with calmer eyes by not allowing myself to get carried away by this fear and anger. And if the leaders can't lead, at least I can lead myself a little bit more calmer, as I'm in control of myself at the end of the day. In mind, body, and spirit. And taking a full breath in and out. So yes, sometimes we look to others to manage our own life, and sometimes it's ourselves that can respond to things a lot better, and preparing ourselves by at least not leading ourselves into the very fear that will not actually help us lead our lives, by preparing our emotions, by not having them in extremes, by down-regulating some of these intensities, we can better manage our own lives. And by manage, not meaning control, but by manage our day-to-day affairs, where we are able to still have the capacity to lead our lives rather than being incapacitated by the fear. So I'm Dion from Eflowtion Support Services. I offer EFT tapping one-on-one online. Try the code intro half to get your first 2 sessions at half price, and hopefully down-regulate some of the stress that might be dominating some of our life. So check out eflowtionsupportservices.com. If you've gotten benefit out of this EFT tapping video, then definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Share to others who may also get benefit. So until the next video, bye for now.